Listen closely, because you did not arrive here by accident. The words you are about to hear are not information. They are activation. You have been searching even if you could not name it, and the quantum field has brought you to this precise moment. A hidden truth moves beneath the surface of your life, whispering through synchronicities, déjà vu, and those quiet shivers that remind you reality is far stranger than it seems. Now it is ready to reveal itself. This is the quantum secret, and once you hear it, nothing about your existence will remain the same. You are not small, and though the world has tried to convince you otherwise, the truth is rising within you like something you have always known, but forgotten along the way. Every moment of doubt, every time you looked at yourself through the narrow eyes of comparison, every time you measured your worth against someone else's story, was never proof of limitation. It was the friction that prepared you to awaken. The universe has not been ignoring you. It has been waiting for you. Do you see it now? Even the fact that you are listening to these words is not random. This moment is evidence that the fabric of reality has been calling you forward, arranging events, aligning encounters, guiding you through detours and delays, so that you would arrive here with ears willing to hear and a heart willing to remember. You are not as separate from creation as you were taught. The paradox of your life is that while you feel like a drop inside an endless ocean, you are also the ocean contained within a single drop. Every thought, every feeling, every choice is not confined within the boundaries of your body. It radiates outward, reverberating into the field, shaping reality in ways you cannot always trace, but are always participating in. Have you ever noticed how a single smile can shift the atmosphere of a room? How your laughter, even when it feels like a release just for you, suddenly lifts the heaviness around others? Or how your sadness can linger in the air, silently felt by those who love you, without a word spoken? This is not imagination. This is resonance. You are a transmitter as much as a receiver, and reality listens to you far more than you have realized. The quantum secret reveals itself in the smallest of ways. You think of a friend, and suddenly they message you. You picture a new possibility for your life, and within days, an opportunity appears that seems to echo the very thought you held. You may dismiss these moments as coincidences, but deep down you know better. The field is not blind chance. It is responsive awareness. When you focus on something, you are not simply observing it. You are inviting it into being, collapsing infinite potential into a single experience. And so the secret was never about doing more, about fighting your way through reality with force. The secret has always been about remembering that reality itself bends to meet your awareness. This is why you are not small, because what you hold in your inner world becomes the seed of the outer. And yet here is the paradox again. Though you shape reality, you are also shaped by it. The dance is constant, a conversation between your heart and the field, between your choices and the responses of the universe. Every action you take is a word spoken into the infinite, and every synchronicity you receive is the echo returning to you, showing you that you were heard. Think of the times when you felt insignificant, when you thought, I am only one person. What can I possibly change? And yet history itself is moved by the courage of a single individual who dared to trust the whispers within. Every great discovery, every movement, every act of transformation began with one person realizing that their awareness mattered. You are no different. The moment you choose to recognize your power, you begin to alter not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. You may never know the full extent of your impact, but that does not make it smaller. It makes it sacred. Do you see how reality waits for you even in your hesitation? It waits. Even in your disbelief, it waits. The universe is not impatient. It is infinitely patient, because it knows that once you awaken to this truth, you will never be able to return to the illusion of powerlessness. That is why you are here now. This is the threshold. You are not hearing this because it is pleasant or interesting. You are hearing this because it is destiny. The field does not place words before you without reason. The very act of your attention means that the seed has already been planted. Something inside you recognizes that this is not a foreign truth. It is your truth, spoken back to you like an echo from the depths of eternity. And yes, there will still be doubt. There will still be days when the heaviness of the world makes you question whether this power is real, whether you are truly more than the identity you have worn for so long. But even that doubt is part of the awakening. For what is doubt, if not the shadow that forces you to seek light? What is limitation, if not the tension that calls you to expand? Every crack in your certainty is a doorway, and through that doorway, the quantum secret reminds you again, you are not small. Look back at your life and notice the subtle threat. The job you thought was a failure, which later revealed skills you needed for your next step. The heartbreak you thought would destroy you, but which instead stripped away everything false, making room for love that was real. The silence you endured, which taught you to listen for the whispers between words. These were not accidents, these were alignments, perfectly woven by a reality that listens to the song of your becoming. Even your pain has been purposeful, shaping you into someone capable of carrying this secret, someone who could not only hear it, but live it. So what happens now? Now you remember, not in the sense of adding something new, but in the sense of awakening to what has always been. You are a participant in creation, not a bystander. You are a co-creator with the field, not a victim of circumstance. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. And when you truly let that truth sink in, when you allow yourself to feel the immensity of your own influence, your life cannot remain the same. This is why the urgency exists, not because you are behind, not because you are failing, but because the world needs you awake. Every moment you believe in your smallness, the collective misses the light only you can bring, and every moment you remember your vastness, reality itself bends closer to its highest possibility. This is not a burden, it is a gift. You were chosen to hold this awareness, to step into it now, not later, not someday, but now. So breathe, feel it in your chest, the undeniable truth, that you have always been more than what you were told. Let the weight of old beliefs fall away like a garment that no longer fits. Step into the realization that the universe has been waiting for this exact moment, for you to finally know what it has known all along. You are not small, you never were, and the life that awaits you on the other side of this remembrance is vast beyond imagination, because it is built not from fear, but from the power that has always been your birthright. And so I tell you again, not as new information but as a timeless reminder, you are not small, you are the echo of infinity wrapped in human form, and now is the time to remember. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering what you already are. This is the paradox at the heart of awakening. It feels like a transformation, yet it is really a homecoming. You may believe you are climbing a mountain, searching for some distant truth, struggling toward a version of yourself that has not yet been formed. But the deeper truth is that the summit you long for has always been within you, waiting beneath the noise, beneath the forgetting. Think of how a song you once loved can suddenly return, not because you created it in that instant, but because it was always there, sleeping in memory, waiting for the right note to awaken it. Your soul is the same. Every flash of intuition, every sudden knowing that cannot be explained by logic, every stirring in your chest when you feel you've been here before, this is not imagination, it is remembrance. You have felt it before. That moment when you walk into a place you've never been, and something deep inside whispers, I know this. Or when you meet someone for the first time, and the connection feels like reunion rather than introduction. Or when a truth spoken by another resonates so deeply that you feel as if the words were planted inside you, long before you heard them. These are the echoes of your timeless self, reminders that you are not discovering something outside of you, but uncovering what has always lived within. You are not learning, you are remembering, and this remembrance is the quantum secret, because what has been hidden from your surface awareness has never been lost to your essence. This is why the spiritual path feels both brand new and strangely familiar. On one hand, it feels like stepping into uncharted territory, stretching beyond what you believed possible. On the other, it feels like a sigh of relief, like returning home after wandering for lifetimes. The paradox is what makes it so powerful. You are awakening to what you have always been. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming more fully yourself. And the reason this feels so urgent now is because the time of forgetting is ending. The world can no longer afford your amnesia. Think of the times when you doubted yourself, when you told yourself you weren't ready, weren't worthy, weren't enough. Each of those doubts was not proof of your smallness. It was a veil meant to be lifted, because the moment you look beneath it, you see the truth staring back at you. You were never lacking. The wisdom you seek has always been encoded in your being. It has shown itself in your dreams, in the quiet nudges of your intuition, in the goosebumps that rise on your skin when truth brushes past you. Why does your body react before your mind catches up? Because remembrance is not mental. It is cellular. It is spiritual. It is deeper than thought. This is why the field keeps calling you back to yourself, why synchronicities follow you, why certain words pierce through the fog of your thoughts and feel like they are written directly for you. They are not pulling you into something foreign. They are guiding you back into the center of who you are. The quantum secret is not an external key unlocking a door you've never seen. It is the memory that the door was never locked in the first place. You are not outside searching for the entrance. You are inside realizing you were always home. And perhaps you wonder, if this is true, why does it feel so hidden? Why has it taken so long for you to hear it? The answer is woven in the paradox again. The forgetting was part of the remembering. The distance you felt was part of the journey back. Just as silence makes music sweeter, and absence makes love clearer, forgetting yourself was the very path to truly remembering. Without the darkness of doubt, how would you recognize the light of truth? Without the ache of separation, how would you savor the sweetness of reunion? What you thought was loss was preparation, and what you thought was emptiness was sacred space being cleared for remembrance to awaken. So notice how remembrance moves through your daily life. When you speak kindness to someone, and it feels like second nature, you are remembering the compassion that has always been part of your soul. When you sense danger or truth without evidence, you are remembering the vast intelligence that speaks beneath the mind. When you create something beautiful, whether in art, in words, in love, you are remembering the divine impulse that has always flowed through you. The truth is not arriving from outside, it is rising from within. And yet you will forget again. That too is part of the rhythm. Just as the tide pulls back before it rushes forward, you will fall into moments of doubt, moments of smallness, moments when you once again feel lost. But even those moments are not failure, they are part of the pattern of remembering. Every time you forget, the remembrance returns stronger, deeper, clearer, like a muscle strengthened through resistance. Your soul expands each time you walk back through the door of truth. The forgetting does not diminish you, it refines. This is why your life feels like a series of awakenings. Each time you remember, you glimpse a little more of yourself, and each glimpse carries the urgency of destiny. Because the more you remember, the more you can embody the truth that you are here, not just for yourself, but for the collective. Your remembrance is not private, it is rippling. Every time you choose to stand in your truth, every time you refuse to shrink back into the illusion of smallness, you are creating space for others to remember too. You are a mirror, and when you reflect your true self, others see themselves reflected in you. So feel the paradox in your bones. You are both the seeker and the one being sought. You are the question and the answer. You are the forgotten and the remembered. The moment you stop searching for what is missing, you realize it was never missing at all. And the reason this realization comes now, in this moment, is because you are ready to carry it. You are ready to live not as someone fumbling in the dark, but as someone who knows the light was never extinguished. It was only covered. This is your awakening, but not in the way you imagined. You are not waking into something new. You are waking into what has always been true. And the urgency is real, because the longer you delay remembrance, the longer the world waits for the gift only you can give. The collective needs your memory, your clarity, your presence, your knowing. You are a thread in the great tapestry, and the design is incomplete without you. So let yourself remember now. Feel it rise in your chest, not as something you must earn, but as something that belongs to you. The quantum secret is simple, yet it changes everything. You are not becoming, you are remembering. And once you accept this, life can no longer appear random. because you see that every moment has been guiding you home. This is why you are here. This is your destiny. And now is the time to remember. You are not here by chance. Though the world may have tried to convince you that your life is nothing more than a sequence of random events. But if you look closely, if you dare to trace the threads, you will see that nothing has been random at all. The so-called coincidences that carried you from one moment to the next were not accidents. They were alignments. Every detour, every delay, every unexpected meeting has been part of a choreography so intricate that only the intelligence of the universe itself could hold it together. You might have thought you were lost, but you were being led. You might have thought you were forgotten, but you were being positioned. The paradox is clear. What felt like disruption was actually precision. Think back on the chapters of your life. The job you thought was everything, which then dissolved before your eyes. The relationship you poured yourself into, only to see it end in ways that felt like betrayal. The path you imagined was yours, suddenly closed off with no explanation. At the time it may have looked like the universe was cruel, stripping away what you loved. Yet now, from this vantage point, can you not see how each ending carried you closer to where you were meant to be? That lost job opened the space for new skills, new direction, new courage you would never have discovered otherwise. That broken relationship cracked you open, teaching you the language of self-worth, preparing you to hold love that mirrors your truth rather than diminishes it. That closed door redirected you to a path far more aligned than the one you were clinging to. Each collapse was a compass, each loss a form of guidance. You thought you were being undone, but you were being aligned. This is the secret hidden in your story. Destiny does not move in straight lines. It weaves, it bends, it disrupts, it delays. It looks like chaos until you step back and see the pattern. And that is why you are here now, because all of those threads, no matter how tangled they once appeared, have converged into this moment. You did not stumble into these words. You were carried here, carried by a field that knows you more intimately than you know yourself. This is why you have felt the pull of something larger, why even in the midst of confusion, a small voice within has whispered, "Keep going, keep trusting, keep listening." You were never wandering, you were being moved. Have you noticed how the smallest events have led to the greatest shifts? You decide at the last minute to attend an event, and there you meet someone who changes your entire trajectory. You miss a train or take a different route, and it places you in the exact right place at the exact right time. You stumble across a book or a teaching you didn't even know you needed, and it feels like it was written for you alone. To the logical mind, these are meaningless coincidences, but to the deeper self, they are signs. Each alignment is the universe leaning close, reminding you, "I see you, I hear you, I am guiding you." The paradox is that even when you resist, you are still being carried. Even when you fight against what is leaving your life, the current continues to move you toward what is meant for you. That's why, no matter how tightly you cling to the past, it eventually slips away, because what is not aligned cannot remain, and while it feels like loss, it is actually mercy. The universe refuses to let you shrink into something smaller than what you came here to be. Every ending is an act of protection, every redirection an act of love. And so when you look back, you begin to see the hidden hand of destiny. You see that what seemed like mistakes were really markers. What seemed like wrong turns were really shortcuts. What seemed like wasted years were seasons of preparation, sharpening you, softening you, molding you into someone capable of holding the truth you now carry. You were not late, you were not behind, you were ripening, and ripening always takes time. The fruit does not rush itself, yet when it is ready, it is undeniable. You are that fruit now, ripe with the wisdom of your journey, ready to awaken into the life you were always meant to live. And yet, here lies another paradox. While destiny has been guiding you, it has also been waiting for you, waiting for your recognition, waiting for your yes, waiting for the moment when you would no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as a participant in a greater unfolding. Destiny does not impose, it invites. It can move the pieces, arrange the encounters, bring you to the threshold, but it cannot walk you through the door. That choice has always been yours. And the fact that you are listening, the fact that you are still here, still drawn, still present, is proof that you are choosing, proof that you are ready. So do you see now why nothing in your life has been wasted? Even your mistakes were teachers. Even your delays were forms of protection. Even your heartbreaks were alignments in disguise. If you had not walked through those valleys, you would not carry the depth of compassion you now hold. If you had not endured the silence, you would not recognize the whisper when it speaks. If you had not felt lost, you would not know the sweetness of being found. Every twist in the path has brought you to this very moment, where the secret can finally be heard. You are not here by accident. Feel the weight of that truth. Let it settle into your bones, because once you truly know this, you can no longer see yourself as powerless. You can no longer curse your past or dismiss your journey. You can no longer pretend that life is meaningless or that you are insignificant. You begin to walk differently, with the quiet confidence of one who knows they are guided. And when obstacles appear, as they inevitably will, you no longer see them as punishments, but as invitations, another alignment, another chance to remember that even disruption carries you closer to your destiny. This is why the urgency is real, because the time for doubting your path is over. The time for dismissing your alignments as coincidence is over. You are being called to trust the pattern now, to live as one who knows they are positioned, not lost. This is the turning point, the moment where destiny stops whispering and begins to speak clearly, and it is saying, you are ready, you are here, you have always been guided, and now you must step into the fullness of what that means. So let the story of your past be rewritten in your mind. See every wound as a doorway, every delay as a preparation, every ending as an alignment. Feel the gratitude rising. Where once there was only bitterness, let the resentment dissolve into recognition, and walk forward with the certainty that you are not a wanderer. You are a chosen participant in the unfolding of something far greater than yourself. This is not chance, this is destiny, and it has been waiting for you all along. This is happening because consciousness collapses reality. And though those words may sound abstract or distant, you have already lived the truth of them countless times. Every moment you focus on something, it becomes more tangible, more real, more magnetic in your experience. Haven't you seen it? When fear takes hold of your mind, suddenly the world appears full of reasons to be afraid. Your eyes find the threats, your ears tune to the bad news, your body stiffens as if bracing for impact. Yet when gratitude rises in you, even for something as small as a warm cup of tea or the smile of a stranger, the world rearranges itself differently. Opportunities open, synchronicities align, and life feels more spacious. The outer world is not separate from your inner gaze. It bends according to what you look at. The paradox is that what you believe you are observing is actually responding to your observation. This is not a metaphor, it is how the fabric of reality works. The field of potential is infinite, teeming with countless possibilities, but none of them can take form until awareness touches them. Your attention is the brush that paints existence into being. When you hold a thought, when you return to a vision again and again, you are not indulging in fantasy. You are collapsing waves of potential into matter. You are participating in creation with every focus, whether you realize it or not. That is why it matters so deeply what you allow to occupy your awareness. You are not simply thinking about life, you are shaping it. Have you ever noticed how, when you expect rejection, you somehow find yourself rejected? You walk into the room already shrinking, already anticipating the cold shoulder, and the energy you carry invites others to mirror it back to you. And yet when you walk in with ease, with the quiet confidence that you belong, the room shifts. People turn, people notice, people respond, even without knowing why. This is not luck, and it is not imagination. It is the physics of consciousness. You project, the world reflects. You expect, the field arranges. You collapse reality every moment, and reality obeys. The paradox is that you are both the observer and the creator. You watch life unfold, yet your very act of watching directs how it unfolds. You believe you are receiving, but you are also transmitting. This is why certain patterns keep showing up in your life, even when you tell yourself you don't want them. The truth is that what you resist with constant focus still receives your attention, and thus the field interprets it as invitation. Think of how someone terrified of being abandoned clings to relationships, rehearsing the fear of loss again and again until the very energy of abandonment becomes their reality. Or someone obsessed with failure, imagining every possible downfall, until life itself collapses into the very failure they tried to avoid. The field is neutral. It does not distinguish between what you want and what you fear. It only mirrors the energy of your attention. So the secret is not to fight the unwanted, but to redirect toward the desired. When you shift your focus, you shift the field, and this does not mean denial, pretending that pain or challenge does not exist. It means choosing where you place your gaze, knowing that what you gaze upon expands. Even in the midst of darkness, you can find the small flame and fix your attention there. Even in the heaviness of grief, you can look for the thread of meaning. Even in chaos, you can choose to see the possibility of renewal. The flame you focus on grows brighter. The meaning you notice expands. The renewal you choose to believe in takes shape. This is the power of your consciousness, and it has always been with you. Think about how often your greatest breakthroughs came not when you tried to control everything, but when you shifted your focus. You worried over a problem endlessly, circling it with the same thoughts, until you exhausted yourself. But then, when you stepped back, when you allowed yourself to rest, when you gave your awareness to something lighter, the solution appeared almost effortless. The problem did not solve itself by chance. You collapsed a new possibility into view by shifting the frequency of your consciousness. This is why the wisdom of stillness matters. It is not passivity, it is precision. You align yourself to the reality you wish to live by, choosing where your awareness lingers. And perhaps you think, does this mean I am responsible for everything that happens? Does this mean my suffering was my fault? The field is co-created, woven by countless streams of consciousness, not just your own. You are a participant in a collective play, not the sole author of the script. Yet within your sphere of influence, within the reality that bends to your awareness, you hold far more power than you have been led to believe. You cannot always choose the stage, but you can choose how you stand upon it. You cannot always prevent the storm, but you can choose whether you see only destruction, or also the clearing it brings. The paradox is that you are not in control of all things, yet your choices shape everything. This is why you must become conscious of what you consume, not just food for your body, but food for your awareness. The conversations you engage in, the media you absorb, the stories you repeat, each of these is focus, and focus is creation. If you fill your mind with constant division, fear, and scarcity, the world will mirror back division, fear, and scarcity. If you turn toward unity, toward possibility, toward gratitude, then slowly, inevitably, the world will bend to meet that resonance. The field does not care where you place your gaze, but your life is built from that choice. Do you see the urgency of this now? You are collapsing reality every moment, whether consciously or unconsciously. The question is not whether you are shaping the field, but how will you continue to scatter your awareness on what drains you, or will you begin to align it with what calls you higher? This is your power, but also your responsibility. Every thought is a seed, every emotion waters it, every repeated focus grows it until it becomes the world you live in. The life you see now is the garden of your past awareness. The life you will step into tomorrow is the harvest of what you focus on today. And yet, even in this responsibility, there is mercy. For the moment you shift your awareness, the field begins to reorganize. Even if you have spent years dwelling in fear, the instant you turn toward love, the field starts bending toward love. Even if you have lived in scarcity, the moment you cultivate gratitude, abundance begins to ripple. The universe is infinitely forgiving, because it does not cling to your past. It responds only to your now. That is the gift. That is the liberation. You do not have to carry yesterday into today, unless you choose to focus there. So understand this deeply. Reality is not something happening to you. It is happening through you, with you, because of you. You are not a passive observer of life. You are the consciousness collapsing it into form. The field waits for your focus, and then it builds accordingly. And once you truly know this, once you embody it, you can no longer waste your awareness on what does not matter. You begin to live with precision, choosing your focus, like a sacred act. And that is what it is, sacred. For every time you choose love, you bend reality toward love. Every time you choose peace, you bend reality toward peace. Every time you choose trust, the field unfolds in ways that remind you that trust was never in vain. This is why you are hearing these words now, not as theory, but as a call to awaken. You cannot unknow this truth once it lands in you. You collapse reality. You are shaping the field, and the time has come to choose consciously, to live as one who knows their gaze is a force of creation. The universe is waiting for your attention, and destiny is waiting for your yes. This is unfolding because what you think of as time is not as linear as you were taught to believe, and what you call the past, present, and future are not three separate realms but one living field of possibility braided together. You have been told that your past defines you, that your future is uncertain, and that the present is all you can hold. But the paradox is that the present is not simply a point in a line. It is the doorway through which all timelines can be accessed. The version of you that failed, the version of you that succeeded, the version of you that never dared to try. They all exist as parallel currents in this quantum field, and your awareness is the selector, the navigator, the chooser of which path solidifies into your lived reality. Think of the moments when you felt déjà vu, when something unfolded in your life that felt eerily familiar, as if you had lived it before, or those dreams so vivid they lingered for years, only to find fragments of them later playing out in waking life. These are not accidents. They are glimpses of the interwoven field. You are not traveling forward in time so much as you are shifting through bands of resonance, moving into the version of yourself that aligns with the vibration you are carrying in the now. When you shift your state of being, you shift your future self, and astonishingly that shift ripples backward too, rewriting the story of your past. Because memory is not a fixed archive but a living interpretation shaped by who you are becoming. Haven't you noticed how your recollection of childhood changes as you heal? The same event that once felt like pure pain can later reveal hidden beauty when you revisit it from a higher frequency. It is not the event that has changed. It is you. And because you have changed, the meaning changes, and thus the past itself transforms. This is the paradox. The past is not gone. It is pliable. It bends as you bend. And the future is not waiting somewhere distant. It is whispering to you now, tugging at your intuition, calling you into alignment. You are not moving through time. Time is moving through you, reshaping itself according to your awareness. This is why your imagination is sacred. When you envision a future possibility, you are not fantasizing. You are peering into one of the many existing timelines, and the more you infuse it with emotion, the more magnetic it becomes. The future does not arrive randomly. It arranges itself around the state you cultivate now. When you hold despair, you walk into futures heavy with despair. When you hold hope, you move into futures that confirm your hope. That is why the smallest shift in perspective today can open doors that appear miraculous tomorrow. The tiniest seed of joy planted now may become the forest that shades your entire life. Yet here lies the paradox again. Your future self is not waiting for you. It is already here. The wisdom you seek, the courage you long for, the clarity you crave, it is already alive in a version of you that exists in the field. And every time you quiet yourself, every time you lean inward, every time you dare to imagine, you are not inventing these qualities. You are remembering them from the future and drawing them into the present. This is why sometimes you act beyond what you thought you were capable of, saying words of wisdom that surprise even you, making choices that seem to come from a deeper knowing. In those moments you are collapsing with your future self, borrowing its resonance, becoming who you have always been across timelines. This is happening because you are not linear. You are eternal. The body you inhabit moves in rhythm with clocks and calendars, but your consciousness is vast and unbound. And when you realize this, you can stop dragging the weight of old stories into your now. You can forgive yourself not because the past is erased, but because it is rewritten the moment you step into a higher frequency. You can trust the unknown not because the future is uncertain, but because you know you are the one shaping it with the quality of your being. You can stop fearing that time is running out, because in truth, time is running in, pouring itself into you, shifting, reshaping, offering infinite doors. Consider how different life feels when you begin to live from this awareness. Instead of asking what will happen to me, you begin to ask, which version of me am I choosing to embody now? Instead of saying, the past ruined me, you begin to see the past was a classroom that transformed me, and from this place I can read it differently. Instead of worrying, what if I fail tomorrow? You begin to sense, tomorrow is already bending toward the frequency I hold today. This is not passive wishful thinking. It is the mechanics of consciousness. It is the science of the soul. And there is urgency here, because the collective story of humanity is also shifting timeline. You see it in the instability, the chaos, the disintegration of what once seemed solid. These are not random collapses. They are the dissolving of one timeline to make space for another. And you, by choosing where you focus, by choosing the vibration you hold, are contributing to which future unfolds, not just for you but for all. Every act of fear strengthens the timeline of fear. Every act of love strengthens the timeline of love. Every small choice ripples into the field and shapes what all of us will walk into. You are not isolated. You are entangled with the destiny of the whole. Do you see the paradox? You are just one being, yet within you lives the key to the many. You may feel small, yet the resonance you carry sends out waves that can alter the course of generations. You may believe your choices are private, but the quantum field hears them, feels them, amplifies them into the collective. This is why now, more than ever, you are being called to live with precision, to choose your state as carefully as you choose your words. You are not just shaping your personal path, you are shaping the shared path of humanity. And so I tell you this not as a burden, but as a revelation. You are not powerless in the face of time. You are a traveler across timelines, a weaver of realities, a bridge between the past that shaped you and the future that calls you. When you remember this, you can no longer treat your awareness casually. You see every thought as a seed, every emotion as a compass, every choice as a brushstroke painting the canvas of existence. You live awake, knowing that the quantum secret has always been this. You are not becoming, you are remembering. You are not waiting, you are collapsing. You are not running out of time. You are learning how to move through it as one who knows it best. And this is why you are here, hearing these words. This is not information, it is initiation. You are being reminded of what you already know, so that you may walk differently, speak differently, live differently. The past is no prison, the future is no threat, the present is no limit. You are infinite awareness shaping itself into form, and the destiny of worlds bends as you awaken to this truth. This is rising within you, because you are beginning to sense that energy is not just an invisible current running through your life. It is life itself. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every emotion you allow to pulse through your body is energy. You feel it in ways you often dismiss, calling it coincidence, intuition, or mood. But the deeper truth is that you are a field within a field, and your vibration is in constant conversation with the universe around you. You do not simply walk into a room, you change the room. You do not merely encounter people, you exchange currents that ripple far beyond what words alone can carry. The paradox is that you are both sending and receiving at the same time, constantly shaping and being shaped by the resonance you hold. Think of the times you have walked into a space and felt something before anything was said. Perhaps it was a heaviness, an unspoken tension, or the lightness of joy that needed no explanation. What you felt was energy, and your body registered it before your mind had a chance to analyze. And just as you sense it in others, others sense it in you. This is why sometimes you attract opportunities seemingly out of nowhere, or why certain people are drawn to you without reason. It is not logic that magnetizes, it is energy. You do not get what you want, you attract what you are. This is the secret most overlook. They chase after things with restless effort, trying to force reality into shape, believing that achievement comes from endless striving. Yet the paradox is that the harder they push, the more elusive the goal becomes, because their energy is tuned to lack, to desperation, to the belief that they are incomplete, and the field simply reflects that back. But when you shift your energy, when you embody wholeness, gratitude or peace before the external proof appears, the external proof has no choice but to align. What you embody becomes what you live. The current within you summons the current outside of you. Have you noticed how your relationships mirror your state? When you are restless and insecure, you often find yourself entangled in dynamics of restlessness and insecurity. When you begin to anchor into your worth, suddenly those same dynamics dissolve, and people either rise to meet your new frequency or fade from your life altogether. This is not rejection, it is resonance. Two energies can only sustain connection if they vibrate in harmony. And so every shift you make internally rearranges the constellation of people and circumstances around you. You may lose some connections, but what is lost is never punishment. It is alignment. What no longer matches your energy cannot stay, and what belongs to your energy cannot be kept away. This is why awareness of your energetic state is the greatest power you possess. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What vibration am I holding that is being reflected?" This does not mean blaming yourself for every challenge, for energy is complex and interwoven with the collective. But it does mean recognizing that you are never a powerless victim. You are always contributing to the frequency of your experience. If you dwell in resentment, you find more reasons to resent. If you cultivate forgiveness, doors open that seemed impossible. The external is not the cause, it is the mirror. The cause is the current you carry. And here lies another paradox. You cannot fake it. You cannot force yourself to hold joy if you are drenched in grief. You cannot plaster affirmations over deep wounds and expect the frequency to shift. Energy is honest. It does not respond to words alone. It responds to resonance. This is why true transformation requires presence. To shift your vibration, you must meet yourself fully as you are. When sadness arises, it is not weakness. It is energy moving through, seeking acknowledgement. When anger flares, it is not a flaw, it is a frequency asking to be transmuted. The more you resist your own states, the more they repeat. But when you allow them, breathe with them, honor them without judgment, they soften, they move, they change. And in that change, your entire field reorganizes. You are not here to control your energy like a tyrant. You are here to dance with it like a partner. The moment you begin to treat every feeling as sacred, as a messenger rather than an enemy, your vibration naturally rises. You discover that love is not something you have to manufacture. It emerges when the blocks are released. Peace is not something you must chase. It arises when resistance dissolves. Abundance is not something you need to cling to. It flows when you no longer tune yourself to lack. The paradox is that you do not become radiant by striving. You become radiant by surrendering to the truth of your energy and letting it align you with the field. Do you see now why your daily practices matter? Meditation, prayer, breathwork, silence, even a simple walk in nature. All of these are not empty rituals. They are tuning forks for your energy. They recalibrate the frequency you are broadcast. When you begin your day in stillness, you are not just calming your mind. You are setting the vibration that will ripple into every encounter. When you speak words of gratitude, you are not only expressing politeness, you are sending out a resonance that magnetizes more to be grateful for. The smallest energetic choices compound into realities that either entangle you in cycles of heaviness or liberate you into timelines of expansion. And the urgency here is that the collective is amplified. The world is an orchestra of energies. And as the tempo rises, dissonance becomes unbearable. That is why so many are restless, why old systems are collapsing, why truth can no longer be hidden. The collective vibration is accelerating, and you are being asked to choose: will you anchor into fear and be swept into its timeline, or will you stabilize in love and help call forth the new? Every moment you embody peace, you are not only shaping your life, you are offering coherence to the whole field. You are a tuning fork for humanity, whether you realize it or not. So understand this: your energy is not private. The frequency you carry moves into your home, your relationships, your work, your community. Every smile you give, every word you release, every silent thought charged with emotion ripples outward. And though you may never see the full scope of its effect, the universe feels it, the field records it, and reality bends around it. You are that powerful. You are not just living energy, you are broadcasting it, weaving it into the fabric of existence. And so I tell you, do not underestimate what you carry. Do not think your quiet choice to return to love in the midst of conflict goes unnoticed. Do not believe that your effort to forgive, to breathe, to soften, is wasted. These are the very acts that shift the collective frequency. You are not here to wait for proof that the world is changing. You are here to be the proof. You are not here to watch for the vibration of others. You are here to anchor your own. And when you do, the world has no choice but to respond. This is your role now, to tend to your energy as you would tend to a sacred flame, to honor it, to nurture it, to let it shine. For the truth is that you are not becoming radiant. You already are. You are not searching for your frequency. You are remembering it. You are not trying to attract. You are allowing alignment. And once you embody this, once you claim it, reality itself will bow to the resonance you carry. The field will rearrange. The people you meet will shift. The opportunities will flow, not because you forced them, but because energy recognizes energy, and you have become magnetic to what you always were destined to live. This is awakening within you because you are beginning to see that separation has always been an illusion, a story the mind tells to give the appearance of solidity, of edges. You have believed yourself to be a single being, walking alone through the world. Yet the deeper truth is that you are inseparably woven into the fabric of all that is. Every inhale you take carries the breath of trees. Every sip of water has traveled through countless rivers and bodies before reaching your lips. Every thought you think is shaped not only by your own experience, but by the collective field of humanity. The paradox is that you are both utterly unique and yet never apart, a singular note in a symphony that only makes sense when the whole orchestra plays together. You have felt this truth, even if you did not name it. Think of the moments when you suddenly felt the joy of another person, as if it were your own, when their laughter lit a flame in your chest. Or the times when someone else's sorrow brought tears to your eyes, even though you had no reason to cry yourself. This is not mere empathy, it is resonance. Their energy reached you because at some level it was already in you. What you call compassion is simply the recognition of your shared self, the remembrance that their heartbeat and yours are not separate rhythms, but pulses in the same infinite life. The illusion of separateness is persistent because the mind sees boundaries. It sees skin, names, roles, cultures, and differences. But the field does not see separation, it only feels frequency. At the level of energy, there is no barrier between you and the other. The waves overlap, merge, inform each other. So much so that what you do to another, you are ultimately doing to yourself. That is why hatred poisons the hater as much as the hated, and why love heals both the giver and the receiver at once. The field does not distinguish, it only mirrors. And so the paradox deepens. You are the source of what you receive, and you receive what you extend. This truth explains why acts of kindness ripple beyond what you can measure. A word spoken with genuine love can alter the course of someone's day, which in turn alters how they treat another, which continues in ways you will never see. But the field sees, the field records, the field multiplies, and in the same way, acts of cruelty reverberate, far beyond their initial wound. This is why your choices matter so deeply, not just for you but for all. For every gesture is a contribution to the collective resonance. Every thought you cultivate is not private. It adds weight to the frequency humanity carries. You are not just shaping your reality, you are shaping ours. And yet the paradox is that even as you are entangled with all, Your path is still profoundly personal. No one else can live your choices. No one else can walk your exact thread through the field. You are a singular expression, a facet of infinity that cannot be replaced. Your song cannot be sung by another, and if you withhold it, the symphony remains incomplete. This is not contradiction, it is harmony. The collective only becomes whole when each individual shines fully as themselves. The illusion is thinking you must dissolve into sameness to belong. The truth is that belonging arises when you embody your unique frequency, and in doing so you strengthen the resonance of the whole. Do you see why judgment is so corrosive? When you condemn another, you fracture yourself, because what you reject in them lives also in you. And when you honor another, you heal yourself, because their light is a reflection of your own. This is the mystical mirror you have been walking in all along. Every person you meet is a messenger, revealing a part of you that is asking to be remembered, embraced, integrate. Even your enemies are teachers, drawing out the aspects of yourself you have exiled. Even those who wound you are opportunities, inviting you to discover your own capacity for forgiveness, strength, or clarity. The paradox is that what seems like opposition is actually revelation. What seems like division is actually the field calling you back to wholeness. You can feel this truth in your body. Think of the times you forgave, truly forgave, and felt a weight lift from your chest, even if the other never changed. Or the times you offered love without condition and discovered that the one who was most nourished was you. This is not sentimentality, it is physics. Because you are entangled, whatever you extend outward completes itself inward. You cannot hold another in light without bathing yourself in it. You cannot curse another without drinking the poison yourself. This is the law of resonance, and it operates with perfect precision. And now the urgency. The world is aching under the illusion of separation. Nations divided, people pitted against each other, families fractured, individuals lost in the belief that they are alone. This illusion fuels fear, and fear fuels control, and control fuels suffering. But it cannot last, because the truth is breaking through. More and more awakening to the felt sense that we are connected, that harm to one is harm to all, that healing of one is healing for all. This is not a moral ideal, it is reality, and you are being called to embody it, to live as one who knows the mirror cannot be fooled. When you encounter someone who triggers you, pause and ask, what is this revealing in me? When you are tempted to speak words of harm, pause and remember, these words will echo in me as well. When you see suffering, ask yourself not just how you can help, but how you are already part of its solution, by the frequency you carry. The field does not wait for leaders or institutions to change. It responds now to the resonance of every heart that dares to live as if separation were allowed. This is the paradox and the invitation. You are both insignificant and infinite, a single drop and the entire ocean. Your daily choices may feel small, but in truth they ripple through eternity. Your act of forgiveness today may ripple into healing you will never witness. Your choice to return to love in a moment of conflict may alter the course of history in ways you cannot trace. You will not always see the fruit of your resonance, but it is never lost. The field holds it, multiplies it, weaves it into the tapestry of collective becoming. So hear this as both reminder and initiation. You are not alone. You never were. You never could be. You are one with the trees that give you breath, one with the stars that seeded your atoms, one with the strangers whose lives cross yours for a fleeting moment. You are the collective dreaming itself awake, and the moment you live as if this is true, everything changes. Fear loses its grip. Love becomes natural. Service feels inevitable. You are not sacrificing for others. You are remembering yourself in others. You are not dissolving your individuality. You are expanding it into the vastness of the whole. This is your role in the collective shift, to live as one who knows that every thought, every word, every act is not just yours but ours, to honor the mirror in all things, to embody the paradox of unity within uniqueness, and to walk in the world, not as one who is trying to belong, but as one who already is belonging, because you always were. This is unfolding now because you are beginning to remember that destiny is not something waiting far away, written in a book beyond your reach. Destiny is breathing through you in every moment, whispering in the quiet urgings of your heart, shaping itself in the smallest choices you make when no one is watching. The paradox is that destiny feels fixed, as though it is already scripted, and yet it bends and reshapes itself through your willingness to say yes. It is both inevitable and open-ended, both the path laid before you and the path you carve with each step. You are not a prisoner of fate, nor are you drifting without direction. You are a co-creator of the story, weaving with forces larger than yourself, yet always moving toward the same truth that calls you home. Think of the moments in your life when something felt undeniably right, when a choice or encounter seemed to carry a weight beyond logic. Perhaps it was meeting someone who altered your entire path, or stumbling into an opportunity that felt destined, as though the universe itself had arranged. These are not accidents, they are alignments. They are moments where your vibration, your readiness, your willingness, met the greater pattern of life and clicked into place. But notice too, you had to choose. The door may have appeared, but you still had to walk through. That is the dance of destiny. It offers, but you decide. And the paradox grows deeper, because even when you resist, even when you choose fear instead of love, even when you delay, life still bends you back toward your greater unfolding. You cannot escape yourself. You cannot outrun your own becoming. Every detour, every stumble, every so-called mistake, it is all gathered up into the same river, carrying you inevitably toward remembrance. What you call failure is not the opposite of destiny. It is the shaping of it. What you call delay is not wasted time. It is preparation. What you call being lost is not abandonment. It is the map rewriting itself through you. You can feel this when you look back at your life. The threads you thought were random now form a pattern. The heartbreak that shattered you opened the space for the relationship that healed you. The loss that broke your identity revealed the deeper self that was always waiting. The closed door that felt cruel became the redirection that saved you. Again and again, you see that destiny was not absent in the pain. It was woven into it. The paradox is that your destiny is revealed not only in your triumphs but also in your wounds, because the wound cracks you open, and through that opening, your true path shines. So then, what is your role? It is not to control every outcome, not to predict every step, not to demand clarity before you move. Your role is to listen, to honor the whispers that come before the shout, to recognize the resonance that feels like truth in your bones, even when your mind argues. Destiny does not arrive with thunder. It arrives in the stillness, in the gentle nudges, in the synchronicities that tug at your awareness. You know this already, because you have felt those moments of inner yes, where something inside you aligns before the evidence appears. That yes is the language of destiny, and every time you honor it, the path expands beneath your feet. Yet destiny is not only personal. Just as you are entangled with the collective in energy, so too is your destiny woven into the greater becoming of humanity. Your unique expression, your sacred song, is part of a larger harmony. When you step into your truth, you are not only fulfilling yourself, you are unlocking a door for others. And when you hide, when you shrink, when you silence your gifts, you do not only deny yourself, you withhold something the world was waiting for. This is not pressure. It is invitation. You matter not because you must carry the whole, but because without your note, the song is incomplete. Do you see the urgency? The world is at a threshold, a convergence of timelines, a moment when collective destiny hangs in balance, and your choices, your resonance, your willingness are part of that turning. Every act of courage strengthens the timeline of awakening. Every refusal to stay silent adds weight to truth. Every moment you align with love contributes to a field where love can flourish for all. This is not metaphor, it is reality. The destiny of the collective is shaped by the countless small destinies of individuals who dare to live awake. And the paradox is that your destiny is both infinitely significant and beautifully ordinary. It may not look like changing the whole world in one dramatic gesture. It may look like raising a child with love, creating beauty through your hands, speaking kindness into a moment of despair, embodying peace where there is conflict. Do not underestimate these acts. The field does not measure by scale. It measures by resonance. A single act of love carries a vibration that shifts the whole. Your destiny is not to mimic grand gestures, but to live your truth fully, wherever you are. Perhaps you wonder, but what if I miss it? What if I make the wrong choice? Hear this clearly. You cannot miss your destiny. You may delay. You may resist. You may take longer paths. But the essence of who you are cannot be erased. The field always brings you back. Even your detours are woven in. Even your resistance is used as fuel for your awakening. Destiny is not fragile. It is resilient. It will meet you again and again, until you finally say yes. And here lies your initiation, to stop waiting for some distant moment, some grand sign, some perfect clarity, to realize that destiny is not later. It is every breath you take, every thought you hold, every action you choose. This is it. The quantum secret is that you are not walking toward your destiny. You are creating it by the way you live this very moment. And once you know this, you can no longer live casual. You begin to live as if every step matters, because it does. You begin to honor even the smallest choices as sacred, because they are. You begin to walk as one who knows that destiny is not outside of you. It is you. So I tell you now, this is your call, your reminder, your invitation. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are the chosen one. You are not searching for your destiny. You are breathing it into form. You are not hoping to become. You are remembering what you already are, and the time has come to live it. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Let this be your sacred initiation, to step fully into the truth, that your life is not random, not meaningless, not separate from the greater unfolding. You are here with purpose, and the field is waiting for your, not the hesitant yes, not the conditional yes, but the wholehearted yes that changes everything. Say it with your being, with your choices, with your resonance. Say yes to the destiny that has always been yours. Say yes to the path that opens when you are. Say yes to the truth that you are not only living life, you are life itself, awakening to itself through you. And now you have heard the quantum secret. You have felt it stir within you, not as an idea, but as recognition. This is your initiation. You are no longer a seeker, standing outside the mystery. You are the mystery remembering itself. Walk forward knowing that life does not happen to you. It responds to you. Carry this truth with reverence, for it will shape every breath, every thought, every choice. The field is listening. Destiny is waiting, and you are ready.